Hi guys, it is Unders. Today we're going to have a look at a little bit of sound design, and what I've done is design this organ sound inside Hive. And just to show you the basics of how Hive works, you can mimic this sound in pretty much any subtractive synth. So if you want to follow along a different synth, you can absolutely do that as well. If these sorts of videos are helpful for you guys, please pop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and it will help me out massively in creating more content for you guys. So let's dig into this. You can see the preset as it is. What we're going to do now is just initialize it, and I'm going to build it up from scratch and explain why we're doing certain things and how they are going to help us develop the sound. So to initialize in Hive, we go into presets, we go into user, and then initialize. Cool, so we've now got an initialized preset. So the very first thing we're going to do is just assign all our oscillators to what we're after. Now, for this particular sound, we need 4 oscillators. We can do that in Hive by using the subs, and we're going to need everything to be in sine. So we look on the left here, we've got oscillator set 1, and on the right, mimicking it, is oscillator set 2. So we've got a sine wave set here, and we are going to set that to that, and then just 1 on the unison. We are going to want the poly to be on, so polyphony on. We're going to want the full 16 voices up here as well. Octave wise, we can leave that set to 0, that's fine. Going to sub, we're going to take sine on there. Oscillator 2, we're going to take a sine on there, and sub 2, we're going to take a sine on there as well. Now, the way Hive by default routes the audio, oscillator 1 is the only thing on. It's going to filter 1 here. We need to turn all 4 of these guys on, and we're just going to drop the volumes down just so we can hear how this is developing. The only volume we're going to leave up at the moment is the first sine. Should be pretty low, just solid sine wave there. Let's go up on there we go. Cool, so nothing special going on. Now, we're going to need to stack these up in different orders. We're going to do an order of harmonics, which is going to allow these sine waves to interact, and they will then generate other harmonics in between them. If we do it in set values, that's how we get that organ sound. So the first one here, we're going to have the oscillator 1 just as default, left on 0. We're going to take the sub and we're going to turn that up to sort of halfway for the minute. And semitone wise, we want that to be on plus 12, which is 1 octave above its root. You can hear that is also generating extra harmonics. And if we get the frequency analysis up here, we can see those being generated there. Now on the actual preset itself, I've got this set to around 40, so we're going to dip that down a bit here. Now the next one, this is the most important one. It goes up by 19 semitones. That's going to be 1 octave and 7 semitones. And we're going to bring it, oh, we've got that volume in already. We go to sort of 55-ish on there, maybe as far as 60. You can hear we're starting to get the tone we're after now as well, somewhere around there. And last but not least, this is going to go a full 2 octaves above, so 24 semitones here. And we bring this in a tiny, tiny amount. You hear wire there. Now if we now switch the engine on this over to dirty, we get a slightly different characteristic. Obviously we've got that really high pitched tone there that we don't necessarily want, but that comes into play on the lower keys much more. Now we can adjust that by introducing a low pass filter, which we've got here, and we can bring that down a touch here. Now it's starting to take that off. However, if we take it out completely, it does change the sound. Bring that back into about here, where we can just hear it. What will help us out slightly, if we adjust this attack and just bring it up to literally about 6, just smooths it in a tiny bit, stops those jarring noises. And that's just the amp down here where we're circling. As far as decay goes, we should be okay on 50. Leave this around the 80 mark, and release. So probably is going to be alright at 30, but you may want to adjust the release depending on what sort of sound you're after. And give that a bit of resonance hit. Now we want to adjust slightly what's going on here and how it is affected. We're going to choose the source. So if we go MM1 at the bottom here, we can then grab the velocity setting. We're going to link the first one to cutoff and the second one to resonance. We're going to have it so the cutoff opens up slightly when we press harder, and the resonance dips down slightly. So we've got the basis of the sound. Now the thing that really brings it into play, if we take the chorus on, and we can dip the rate down quite slow and have the depth up to sort of the middle. Around there. Cool. And distortion, soft clip with a tiny bit of a mount and quite a low tone with a minimal mix. Just adds a bit of character into it. And last but not least, reverb. I think we drop the size a bit and have a little bit of extra decay, and then drop the mix down. That gives us a pretty convincing organ sound. One thing I found quite nice, if you have got a mod wheel on your keyboard, if you take the mod wheel and we attach that to the distortion amount, and we can move that ever so slightly while we're playing. It gives an extra little dynamic into the sound there, and especially present when we're doing chords. And guys, that is how we make a nice organ sound in Hive in only a couple of minutes. Enjoy making your preset, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.